So here's a task that takes you about 20 minutes. You approve a batch of creatives, you download them and rename them to follow your naming convention. You then upload them to Meta ads, followed by TikTok and YouTube and a bunch of other ad platforms. Then you need to report the progress to media buyers and other relevant people on Slack. Now this doesn't sound like much, but if you're publishing hundreds of different ad creatives every month that arrive from different creative agencies, designers, content creators, and so on, this starts adding up to hours and hours every single month. And that's a lot of clicking that has nothing to do with creative strategy. And that's why we build Focal workflows. They automate those time-consuming manual chores of your creative production process and are built directly into our performance DAM. And unlike third-party automation tools like Zapier that require a lot of custom setup, workflows natively understand your project management, your assets, and ad channels. And they also have the ability to connect to other systems. And here's how it works. A trigger is the event that starts it. A task status changing, a new file in the library, a tag getting applied, or the API getting called. Actions are what happens in response, so pushing an asset to Meta, TikTok, or YouTube, sending a Slack message, updating a board, or calling an AI model to interact with the data pulled into workflows. Every run gets logged as well, so if something doesn't fire the way you expect, you can see why that was and what happened. Here's a few examples of what this looks like in practice. So when a task is marked approved, workflows can push the asset straight to Meta, TikTok, and YouTube, named correctly for each channel, and no manual uploads are needed. If you want, you can also filter for things like only trigger this when the media was signed to a specific person or uploaded to a specific folder, for example. Workflows can also post a Slack summary of what shipped and how long it took to get there. You can freely customize these notifications with the associated media, tasks, and more as well. There's also an Ask AI action that runs a prompt against your actual creative context, the brief, the tags, the visuals, and so on, and uses the response as a step in the workflows. This is great for formatting data you receive through the API, such as a custom brief from a third-party platform, for example. Workflows are available on every Focal plan, and you can find them in the left side menu. That's it for this video. See you in the next part of this series, where we'll go through setting up a workflow from scratch, and in part 3, where we go through more of these example use cases in practice.